man. Bryce Huff wasn't only bad, he was really bad, okay? There's some really things you got to look at closely in the tape, okay? Things that people are putting out content-wise that some of us that stream the game, I'm streaming the game. I'm not seeing the little things with certain players. I see that there's no pressure with the defensive line, but let me tell you, Bryce Huff, this has got to be a coaching thing, what they're teaching him. Like, no one's getting pressure here, but Bryce Huff, especially at $17 million a year, it's ridiculous. We're going over the tape. We're going over his snap count. We're going over everything in this video. We're going to be going over how the Eagles are going to get pressure on the Saints this week and the big change they have to make. And they have to take a certain player out of position to do that, in my opinion, which I think they will do. Okay. And lastly, Nick Sirianni, his post-game press conference and what he did towards the players after the game and just his communication with Kellen Moore that was reported as well by him today from his press conference or yesterday, whenever you're watching this video. We're going to be going over it all. Let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I am really trying to keep my cool. Like, I try my hardest to, make a video, end the day, and just live my life normally as I normally do. But man, this team gets to piss me off. It's just these little tiny moments. I should just stay off social media and not look at stuff because this is what happens. Bryce Huff, Agent Zero. Man, did we just see some really bad play from Bryce Huff that's worse than expected, which I think it's maybe a coaching thing or maybe it's just a bad player that's just not doing well. Okay, Bryce Huff, okay, $17 million a year. I mean, $50-something million for his whole entire contract. I mean, guys, Agent Zero is literally Agent Zero for a reason, okay, because he's literally doing nothing. His jersey says it all. And the little things that Bryce Huff did in this game is going to it's going to piss people off tremendously. And I don't even know what to say. I looked at, obviously, certain things here, okay? One, an outside, we were killed 6.6 yards a carry by the Falcons, okay, in the rushing attack. Bryce Huff doesn't maintain the outside, nothing, jogs to the play, lazy as hell. But this time he's not trying to fix his helmet while he's trying to chase somebody. I mean, jogging. Look at the jogging to the play. Like, what is that? Is this guy undeserving? Is he mentally just doesn't care anymore? Like, what is it? Seriously, no outside contained, gets blocked inside, looks horrible there. Here's another one that really pissed me off. He was blocked by a tight end for 5 to 6 seconds, bottom of the screen. Look at the stance when he's coming out of it. Look at the stance. He not even low, not taking a step, not even a step forward. He literally is tapping his feet in place. Look at it. You're in a stance looking like you're about to explode on that tight end, and it's like you're doing a chop drill. Like, what is this? What is that? Look at this. You can't even beat a tight end. A tight end. He chops his feet in place. He stands up. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's standing up. Look, stands up and doesn't even take a step forward. What is this, dude? What did the Eagles see in this guy? Now, from what I know is that, what I know as of right now, okay, Bryce Huff played what? The first 2 weeks for the Jets, he played 42 snaps for the Jets in 2 games. He played 61 to 62 snaps for the Eagles in 2 games. So he's almost, he's had a little bit more reps. I mean, I don't think he's tired. I don't think there's anything. I don't think he's tired or he's not. I mean, Fangio even believes still to this day that he's still not there yet, that eventually he will come into his own. If Fangio is in the building, why did they pay a guy out of desperation? Because honestly, he's not ready to take on this big role. 2 players making over $15 million. Come on, $14 million. Come on now. Look at this. Jordan Davis is getting double teamed. Jalen Carter is getting double teamed. Is technically a 4-on-2. And look at Josh Sweat is fighting for his life up there. Can't even get pressure at all. Getting blocked in a complete circle. And Bryce Huff is just chopping his feet out of a stance. No step forward. No getting low. No pass rush. Like what is this? Seriously, it's aggravating. Remember when Bryce Huff was slipping on that big Reed touchdown last game against the Green Bay Packers, and we said, oh, he slipped twice, it was the field? Well, it looks like it's probably not that. The guy just has no balance coming out of a damn stance, and this is what you get, $17 million falling flat on his face. Jesus Christ, guys. I mean, come on now. And this isn't the first, like I said, this is not the first time we've seen him do this. He did this in the first game. But we gave them a pass because the field was a complete disaster. It wasn't even playable to play on. Probably worse than the 22 Super Bowl. But God, man, what am I watching? Oh, man, this is just really hard to watch, bro. Really hard to watch. So at the end of the day, I honestly... You sign this guy, you get rid of Reddick, you sign this guy, and you have no, this was a desperation. This was a quick signing by the Eagles. There was no fight to acquire him. It seems like no teams were giving him the amount that the Eagles were going to give him. I mean, you're paying a guy $17 million a year, and Fangio, from the start of training camp to the end, is saying that he needs to earn more snaps. And physically, he can't even handle being a 3-down edge rusher. I mean, who made the final decision to make this signing? Why are you bringing in guys that can't help us immediately after getting rid of your best pass rusher? It makes no sense. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with Bryce Huff. That's really bad play by Bryce Huff. Bad play, bad coming out of his stance, no containment, lazy away from the play. It's all right there in front of you. It's absolutely disgusting. On top of everything else, okay, because really when you think about this past draft, who's the only player that's really playing right now? It's really Quinyon Mitchell. Really, it's just Quinyon Mitchell. Nobody else is playing. Where's Jalix Hunt? No oblique injury. Where is he? Why is he in the rotation? Mr. Fangio's like, Jalix Hunt, man, he really surprised me this offseason. He did a lot more than I expected. But yet, all that great talk, and where is he? Jordan Davis, he's great. He's in shape. All that talk, where is he? It's a joke, dude. It's a complete joke. Man, this pisses me off. It's not even like a video. This is like a rambling phase. It's just every friggin' day with this team. Jalix Hunt is a 3rd-round pick. Why isn't he playing? Why is he only playing special teams? Come on, answer me. There's already enough from this draft. There's barely people even playing already. You're drafting a guy in the 3rd round, not even getting playing time. Cooper DeJean has got to get his shot sooner or later, hopefully this week, because I really want him to be in that nickel spot, that inside corner spot where I expect Quinyon Mitchell to be on Chris Olave this week, because I know Slate can't cover him. It's really, really aggravating. Now, remember we got the news on game day that Devin White was a healthy scratch. Why in the hell is he a healthy scratch? I already knew this. I never made a video on it. I talked about it in my post-game video. But why was Devin White a healthy scratch? I don't believe Nakobe Dean beat him out of his job. I don't believe that at all. Fangio said that. Oh, yeah, he beat him out of his job from start of training camp to bull BS. I don't believe it. Okay? I don't believe it. But he needs to play. So since we already have this issue with getting pressure with our defensive line, I think the Eagles, what they should do is they should take Zach Baun, okay? Because So far, I think he's been our best linebacker, and because we were bad against the run, we couldn't get a pass rush. Your linebackers are going to suffer. Your corners are going to suffer. Your safeties are going to suffer. I don't care what the statistics look like with your secondary. There's no excuse for your defensive line to be this mediocre in your second game like this. Don't tell me it's only 2 games. There's no way you look this bad for some odd reason. Okay, Zach Baun needs to be moved to an edge rusher. They need to move him. They need to have Devin White play at middle linebacker. This way you have the first game, remember, they started when the Eagles weren't getting much pressure, they started lining up Zach Baun on the edge and started getting some pressure there. He got a sack off of that. Okay, they have to do that. They have to replicate something different to get more pressure. Use an extra linebacker, and Patrick Johnson's with the Giants now. The Eagles got rid of him, don't know why, and he's now with the Giants. Okay, they have to take Zach Baun. They have to put him at edge rusher. They can switch him from linebacker to edge rusher if they want to do that. I think they should switch. Zach Baun was a edge rusher before he became an outside linebacker. He was transitioned from the Saints from an edge rusher to an outside linebacker, and all was said and done. It seems like Zach Baun could be the best player in Vic Fangio's system. Even though we hate this system with a passion, this could be Vic Fangio's next Van Ginkel, his protege of his exact player he molds into what he wants him to be. Between his pass coverage and obviously his unrelentless when it comes to his aggressiveness when he's playing downhill. And I think that's huge for him. Okay? Put Devin White at the middle linebacker spot, make the guy play, and move Zach Baun to that edge spot and let Zach Baun attack. And I think hopefully with some better coaching and Zach Baun can get a little bit of electricity to this defensive line to at least create some good one-on-ones. If Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are going to get double-teamed all game because these tackles are having no issue with Josh Sweat or Bryce Huff at this point, they need more help. This is not enough. Okay? This is the changes they have to make to get pressure. And I think Devin White cannot sit as a depth player. He has got to play, and Zach Baun has got to go to his original position, okay, and start playing on that edge and start playing dirty and start playing aggressive. And I know Zach Baun is a better player mostly than a lot of these other guys we have right now. So I think that will be the best plan for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know if I can go through another week of seeing literally Bryce Huff on one side, Josh Sweat fighting for their lives to get pressure. I mean, and little to nothing. Bad play, bad footing, bad energy. It's just not there. I don't know how this defensive line is literally getting no pressure at all. It looks so mediocre, looks so horrible. I think this is the route you're going to have to go when it comes to Zach Baun and letting Devin White play. I think it's a waste for Devin White to sit on the bench and not even play in the game. Add Zach Baun to your edge rush and get this thing moving and see what we have next week. Because I'm telling you, next week is a statement game. It's a what do you guys got in the tank type game. It's on the coaching staff and it's on the players. Okay? Now, Nick had his press conference the other day because the Eagles did have walkthroughs the other day, okay? Nick, I'm sorry, but I'm really back to not wanting to hear what he has to say anymore. Okay, so Nick did talk about his communication with Kellen Moore, saying Nick Sirianni and he and Kellen Moore's communication looks like late in games. He says, quote unquote, it's the same as it is in the beginning of the game. If Kellen and I are having those conversations just then, we don't have a shitty job at preparing. We talk all week about situations. Managing a game and calling a game are different, but they all mesh together. So it sounds like that Kellen Moore and Nick might have disagreements on things, which I'm not shocked over because I'm sorry, I don't feel as if Nick isn't getting caught with his hand in the cookie jar once again when it comes to play calling. I'm sorry. I don't believe this is 100% full Kellen Moore offense. Not to mention, post game, Jalen Hurts wasted no time talking to the players. Okay. And Nick decided not to speak up or say anything to the players. He was on WIP yesterday morning and literally told them that he decided, let the players take care of it. As a coach, you have nothing to say about the game. What coach out there right now after a game is not talking after the players talk on post game? Okay, Kenneth Gainwell said it best this past summer when he had a podcast and talked about how there was the coaches and the players. The players were on one side, the coaches were on the other. There was no interlockable conversations. There was nothing going on last year because everything was such a mess last year. Okay, Kenneth Gainwell said that this summer. It was the coaches, it was the players, and they just were on one side they were on one side of the room. They were on two different sides of the room, and there was no interchangeable conversations at all, collaborative conversations. Nothing was going on. And this is like the start of it all once again. It's already enough. You have two really tough games coming up. And I'm sorry, but the Eagles have too much talent. A.J. Brown are not offensively to make anything work right now. Your quarterback is struggling. You don't help your quarterback. Your quarterback is already making mistakes on his own already. You don't run with Saquon Barkley enough. Run through Saquon. The offense should run through Saquon Barkley. That's how it should be this year. And Jahan Dotson, you're giving more passes to Britton Covey than Jahan Dotson, which makes no sense. Jahan Dotson over 70% of the snaps. Britton Covey gets more targets than Jahan Dotson. It's what is this? Really? From a head coaching standpoint, I swear to God, guys, if they lose the next two games, I want him gone. Gone. I don't care if the players like him. This has nothing to do with liking Nick. This is a business. These players are worth millions of dollars playing for a franchise. Business over friendship. That's how it should be. Should always be second degree, okay? Friendship should always be that. I don't care if the players like Nick. I'm tired of that too. It's like, I know the players stick up for Nick because they have to, because they feel like they have to. And I do think they do like Nick. But this is about football. This is about championships. This isn't about they're just going to keep a guy in the building because the players like him. If that's the case, season over. Season's done. And that's where I am. It's all on you, Nick. It's all on you, players. It's all on you, coaches, to change things around because this looks absolutely disgusting. Let me know what you guys think about Bryce Huff, his play. What do you think about Jalen Huff? What do you think about Zach Baun as an edge rusher, getting Devin White to play in that middle? I think that would be perfect. And Nick Sirianni, what do you feel about him not talking to the players post-game? Kind of like separating himself from the team a little bit. This is the worst time to do that. Do you agree with that? I wonder. Yeah, him and Kellen Moore are meshing things together. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the big problem. And Sirianni is going to find out the hard way. And Jeffrey Lurie better stop this shit from growing before it gets bigger and it's done. It's a done deal. Wasted year. Wasted everything. Wasted moves. Joke. That's where I'm at. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Helps out tremendously. Thank you for all the support. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.